Have you ever wondered what someone would give up for the truth? Their money, their family, their future? For one young man in Makkah, the answer was everything. Before Islam, there was no one quite like Mus'ab ibn Umayr radiallahu anhu. He came from one of the wealthiest families in Makkah. People recognized him before they even saw his face. The expensive perfume he wore could be smelled from a distance. His clothes were imported from Yemen, soft and elegant. Every time he walked through the streets of Makkah, people admired him. He had wealth, comfort, respect, a future that most people could only dream of. But then everything changed. One day, Mus'ab radiallahu anhu secretly heard about a man named Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam who was calling people to worship only Allah. Curious, he went quietly to the house of Al-Arakam, where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was teaching the small group of believers in secret. As he listened to the verses of the Qur'an, something happened inside him. These were not the words of a poet. They were not the words of a magician. He knew they were the truth. That day, Mus'ab radiallahu anhu accepted Islam, but he kept it hidden. He knew exactly what would happen if his family found out. For a while, his secret remained safe, until one day, someone saw him praying. The news reached his mother. Her name was Qunnas bin Malik, a woman known for her powerful personality. She loved her son deeply, but she hated Islam even more. When Mus'ab radiallahu anhu returned home, he was confronted. The mother said, "Is it true? Have you abandoned the religion of your forefathers?" Mus'ab radiallahu anhu did not shout. He did not argue. Calmly, he spoke about Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His mother refused to listen. She ordered him locked inside the house. She thought a prison would force him back to the old religion. Instead, it made his faith even stronger. Eventually, Mus'ab radiallahu anhu managed to escape. Soon after, a group of Muslims migrated across the Red Sea to Abyssinia, seeking safety from persecution. Mus'ab radiallahu anhu was among them. Imagine the contrast. Just months earlier, he had lived surrounded by luxury. Now, he was leaving everything behind with nothing but his faith. Years later, when he returned to Makkah, the Prophet ﷺ saw him walking. His clothes were rough, they were patched together, nothing like the elegant garments he once wore. The companions looked at him in silence. The Prophet ﷺ looked at Mus'ab radiallahu anhu and remembered the young man everyone used to admire. Then the Prophet ﷺ reminded the companions how this world can change so quickly. The wealth had disappeared, but something far greater has taken its place: faith. Not long after, another challenge arrived. The people of Yathrib, later known as Medina, had begun accepting Islam. They needed someone to teach them, someone wise, patient, gentle, someone whose character could win hearts. The Prophet ﷺ chose Mus'ab radiallahu anhu. Think about that. Among all the companions, the Prophet ﷺ selected this young man for one of the most important missions in Islamic history. Mus'ab radiallahu anhu traveled to Yathrib with almost nothing, no army, no wealth, no political power, only the Qur'an. He visited homes one after another. He recited Allah's word. He answered questions. He treated everyone with kindness. One day, two influential leaders approached him. They were angry. One of them carried a spear. He intended to drive Mus'ab radiallahu anhu out of the city. Instead of responding with fear, Mus'ab radiallahu anhu simply said, "Will you sit for a moment? Listen to what I have to say. If you like it, accept it. If not, I will leave." The man agreed. Mus'ab radiallahu anhu recited the Qur'an. Before he had even finished, the man's expression changed. The anger disappeared. His heart had softened. That day, he accepted Islam. Soon after, another leader accepted Islam as well. Their acceptance changed the course of the city. house after house embraced the message. By the time of the Prophet ﷺ migrated to Medina, Islam had already spread throughout much of the city, and much of that was through the quiet work of one man, Mus'ab ibn Umayr radiallahu anhu. Then came the Battle of Badr. Then, a year later, the Battle of Uhud. Mus'ab radiallahu anhu carried the banner of the Muslim army. During the fierce fighting, enemy knew that if the banner fell, confusion would spread, so they targeted the man carrying it. Mus'ab radiallahu anhu refused to let it drop. Even after suffering devastating wounds, he held onto the banner for as long as he could, until he was finally martyred. After the battle, the Prophet ﷺ walked among the fallen companions. He stopped beside Mus'ab radiallahu anhu. The young man who had once been the most fashionable person in Makkah now owned so little that when the companions tried to cover his body with a single cloth, it wasn't enough. If they covered his head, his feet were exposed. If they covered his feet, his head remained uncovered. The Prophet ﷺ instructed them to cover his head and place fragrant grass over his feet. This was the same Mus'ab radiallahu anhu who once had more clothes than he could count. Now one cloth could not even cover his body. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had honored him with something far greater than wealth. He had sacrificed comfort, families, status, and even his own life for the sake of Allah. His perfume faded, his expensive clothes wore out, his wealth disappeared. But more than 14 centuries later, his name is still remembered, but not because of what he owned, but because of what he was willing to give up. Sometimes the people who lose the most in this world are the ones who gain the most in the next. And Mus'ab radiallahu anhu is one of the greatest examples of that.